Welcome to MakingRealEstateFun.com. I'm Keith Hoffman, and I'm here along with my co-host, Taji Clark.
Hey guys.
Kevin O'Flaherty is not able to make it today, but we wanted to have a guest today who is Ed Wysocki from MIDCO Incorporated.
Thanks, Keith. Nice to join you.
Well, we thought today that we would talk a little about commercial telephones, cabling systems, and talk a little about that. So why don't you tell us, first of all, what you do?
I am with MIDCO Incorporated. The company was founded in 1960. It's a family-owned business. And primarily what we do is we work on your communication systems and security systems. We can literally set it up so we pull cable for not only your data network, but we can also pull cable for your telephones. We can put in access points if that's a requirement. On the security side of the house, we can put in cameras if need be. We can put in sensors. We can put in all sorts of security devices to kind of make things locked up and everybody's safe and tight. Probably one of the largest concerns that we have on a commercial side for security is State Farm Insurance down in Bloomington. And we do a lot of their properties throughout the United States.
Interesting. So when somebody is going to move their business, I know it's real important for them to talk to somebody like you well in advance.
Yes.
Give us an idea of what type of time frame we're looking at.
You're probably looking at a minimum of 90 days. And the reason for that is probably because you have to begin to get your network providers, the people who provide your phone service, who provide your internet connectivity, the ability to make sure that they have enough facilities in place to your new location so that when you walk in, you do have phone service, you do have internet, and you're ready to hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. That's really key. On our end, what comes in very handy is, again, to know exactly what it is that you're doing. So a lot of planning goes into it, probably with a site planner, maybe an architect, maybe both, where you're literally looking at a blueprint and laying out where everything is going to go. Whether it's you're in a warehouse facility where you have speakers because you're paging people throughout the day, to an office environment where sometimes you may have ceiling speakers. Where do you want those placed? Are there certain gathering spots? The lunchroom, the coffee pot area, the water cooler. You don't necessarily have to have a speaker every 10 feet, but you want to make sure that you cover the vast majority of the area so you can actually get the people you're trying to page.
Okay, very cool. Who's ideally your major or main type of client? What size business are we talking about?
Well, we probably our meat and potatoes is probably between 25 and maybe 150. We do have customers either smaller and larger, but probably in a commercial standpoint that we do a lot of school districts, which are in excess of 150. We also do a lot of villages and municipalities who are also in excess of that number. We also do a lot of dentist's office, insurance agents, all sorts of people who have small businesses. But again, we are able to provide them with a system that gives them the capabilities and the functionality that they're looking to kind of give that big company presence,
Sure.
but at a fraction of the cost. So.
Nice.
So I know that right now it's more than just telephone systems because
Right.
everybody has computers, everybody has, like you said, intercom systems and things. So how complex is that?
It isn't so much complex from the standpoint, it's more application oriented. One of the biggest features that they have right now is called unified communications. And basically it's just simply taking your emails and your voicemails and putting them on a unified platform, i.e. your desktop computer, your laptop or your desktop. And it's nice because, again, most people these days are flying by their desks or sitting at their desk for a moment. Instead of having to check two different devices for messages, you check one. And you're able to delete them, you're able to get to them, you're able to go to your cell phones because those are also passed. Mm-hmm. So you can get those on that device. If you have a business where you're constantly mobile, you're either in your car because you're going from one appointment to another, you can take your phone calls in your car on your cell phone, basically being transferred or twinned from your desktop phone in your office. So instead of sitting in traffic, kind of just getting steamed, you actually can conduct business and not have to come back to the office and return 25 phone calls.
That's perfect. We're on the beach,
There
laying
you
on
go.
the beach, and you get the phone call. Hello? Oh, yes. Just a minute. I'll take care of that in just a few minutes. Okay, thank you. Hang up the phone.
That has been done. Or on the golf course.
On the
wherever it
golf
might be.
course,
Right,
I know. I've
right,
done that
right.
myself
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the golf course before.
So it does come in very handy. And again, the idea is to make people as available as they want to be. You can make yourself 24/7. That begins to wear a little while. So again, with the technology, I can set it up, or we can set it up such that by phone number, if I have your number, and I think that I got to take your call no matter any day, I can take that call. It's Sunday at 3 in the morning, if I so desire. Or I can say, hey, you know what? After 5 o'clock on Friday, voicemail.
Yeah. So we all know that technology today is rapidly changing. You know, there's always, you know, the next big thing, something that's new and exciting. Over the last, I'd say 5 years, what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen?
Probably the biggest changes, again, is just the unification of telecommunications and data communications. And basically what you're saying is the next step is going to what's called the cloud, where again, the best application for a cloud is if you have multiple offices. So let's say you have one main location where you might have 30 people, but you have satellite offices throughout the area. Think of a village or a municipality. You've got City Hall, you've got Streets and Sands, you've got the Park District, you've got the Water Department, you've got the sewer guys, I mean, all over. And most of those locations, with the exception of City Hall, usually are not really phone intensive. They might have a few phones out there, but the idea is it's nice to be able to tie them back to City Hall, because when we make a call, we can actually hit a destination.
Sure.
And again, we have one voicemail to go back to get messages. We have one server to get our emails from, etc. We have cell phones, so as the guys are walking to the sites to check on the water pressure or to see if what's being done, is the street job being done on time, they can take those phone calls on their cell phones. And you're making yourself more productive as opposed to having to come back and return 20 calls.
Gotcha.
So that's what we see happening. And again, we can stretch it. I mean, again, let's say with your office, Keith, let's say you guys have offices in 30 of the 48 continuous states. You could literally have this location here, obviously, the largest one, but yet you can have these phones plugged into the people working from home. And that's become a big thing too, work at home, because people don't necessarily always want to pay for brick and mortar. If they're able to have people work at home, again, you have a connection to hook up your internet to. So you've got the ability to contact the office via data, and you also have the ability with the voice. So again, you can communicate and you can conduct your business as if you were seated behind a desk at a location like this, even though you're at home.
So I know, like here at Draper and Kramer Mortgage, what we do is if I want to call somebody in the Naperville office, I just dial 4 numbers and it goes there. Same thing for our Chicago office. So that's pretty easily done with the systems these days, right?
Very, very much so. Very much so. A lot of planning goes into it ahead of time, but it's well worth it because, again, for that very reason. I mean, if they opened an office in England, you literally could be dialing another 4 digits. Now, the ideal thing is that you're keeping those digits set up so I know that the 2,000 range is Naperville, the 1,000 is Chicago, the 3,000 is Europe, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So when I see that, I can identify, I know that call is coming from. So yes, but yeah, that's becoming more and more apparent. Yeah,
great.
So I would imagine that you've had to, maybe go behind somebody else's work, maybe from time to time. If an old company did the wiring for one office or one office building, you've had to go back and. So this is a question that I'm finding that I'm always asking some of our guests. So what is the wildest thing that you've seen as you've had to go back behind somebody's work to make changes or to fix or redo?
Oh boy, let me think. I don't know about the wildest. One of the funniest was I was dealing with a gentleman, and he was under the impression that the phones operated similar to an appliance, whereby if you unplug it, you're not getting charged for it. So I had to unfortunately inform him that really wasn't the case. You're getting the bill for those 30 phones, whether they're plugged in or not. So you may as well plug them in and use them. One of the funnier incidents that I do recall, there is a piece of equipment that is still used, not as much as it was in the past, but it was called a call accounting system. And primarily it was used by professional services who wanted to bill back for their time. So what customers usually would say is that, I didn't spend that kind of time with you guys. It's like, yeah, here's the call. You called in, this is your number, right? It was at 2:58 and we spoke to 4:15. So I'm charging $125 an hour. That's what you're paying. That's what you bill for. So we did have this one incident where this law firm actually was giving a demonstration on this call accounting system. What they didn't know, with the exception of the senior partner, was that they were already on the call accounting system for about a month. So yeah, so somebody happened to see their home phone number being called, but not by their extension. Yeah. Yes. So needless to say, the gentleman was asked to be excused from the meeting, and they had a partners only meeting.
That's trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
oh
trouble.
yeah. You bet. You bet.
So if someone wanted to reach out to you to get in touch with you to have their systems set up
Sure.
or systems changed, how would they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Call us at MIDCO Incorporated. We're in Burr Ridge, Illinois. The main number is 630-887-1800. We can be reached there. My direct inward dial number, or my one number to reach me, is 630-590-8343, and that's Ed Wysocki with MIDCO.
Awesome.
Perfect. You can reach me by cell phone, 630-306-LOAN. That's 630-306-5626, or visit me on my website at dkmortgage.com/Hoffman.
Awesome. And I'm Taji Clark. Best way to reach me is on my website, just tajiclark.com. All of my social media channels, all of my contact information is all there, so it's the best and easiest way to get me.
And we want to thank Tom Weiler from Weiler Studios today. He's our videographer, and he always does a great job. If you're interested in some shoots, just go ahead and get on to weilerstudios.com, and I'm sure you'll be able to get Tom pretty quickly. So thanks again. Enjoy the day.